Hello there. This is welcome to my AAC video presentation. I'll be doing the PODD. My name is James Parsons. This is for Special Education 8008, working with children with emotional and behavioral disorders and autism spectrum disorder. Why AAC? AAC supports allow people with complex communication needs to communicate and express themselves linguistically. AAC supports increased equity for non-speaking or minimally verbal individuals by fostering access and engagement with those around them. Communication is necessary to participate in the community and create connections, which is a key indicator of quality of life. We'll start off with the development of PODD before we jump into what it is. PODD or PODD was developed by Gail Porter, who is a speech pathologist. She currently works for the Center for Cerebral Palsy Education Center in Melbourne, Australia. She spent the last 15 years developing PODD and has taken into account feedback from users and partners to revise and update it over the years. A quote that I found particularly salient from her was, being able to say whatever I want to whoever I want to say it to, whenever and wherever I want to say it. So what is PODD? It stands for Pragmatic Organization Dramatic Display. Pragmatic means the ways that we use language both with a purpose and socially. The organization is that words and symbols are arranged in a systematic way. And the dramatic display part is that you change pages for a wider range of vocabulary and statements. PODD provides both fringe and core vocabulary in meaningful ways and is adaptive to the person using it to communicate. One of the big advantages of PODD is that it can be high or low tech. You'll see in one image is how it would look if it was loaded up onto an iPad or personal device, and that's just they would have an iPad. The user would have an iPad with them. The partner would help them do the to click through depending. So they use higher frequency ones on the first page, and then you can click through other pages. And then there's also an analog version. This is the one that, in looking into it, is the one that I see in use more frequently, is that users will have a spiral bound notebook with words and statements that, that are most frequently used on the first page, and then they'll be able to flip through to other pages as they need them. One of the huge benefits of this is that it travels with the user all the time. It is something that is meant to be used all the time, not just in an educational setting, but in social settings. It's meant to go home with users and be a consistent support throughout their day. It's a comprehensive communication system. It can go everywhere the user goes. It's versatile because of its ability to be used in a low-tech application. There's a wide range and large number of words and statements for almost any situation the user finds themselves in. Who is PODD designed for? PODD can meet individuals with complex communication needs at any stage of language development. Each book or device is tailored to the individual user, with some features that can really be tailored to individual situations. So for users with limited mobility, there's an adaptation to use eye gaze. For users with cortical visual impairment, it comes in high contrast. And then one of the key components is that it is partner assisted. So partner assisted scanning, that you'll see that in the picture there of the person there's a social component in that the user is not using it just alone. There's a partner there who's helping them navigate it. So how do you use a PODD book or device? So it's typically used with a partner. It's really designed to be used with a partner. You start on the first page. The pod user selects a word or symbol, and that, depending on who the user is, they could be pointing, they could be using eye gaze, and it also could be that the partner is going through with a finger and saying, okay, is it this? And then the user will indicate either an affirmative or a negative. So the partner says the selection out loud, the user indicates yes or no. And then the partner turns to appropriate pages to complete the communication. And then the pod user indicates when their message is finished, at which point you made this very clear, you go back to the first page so that it's ready to go for the next piece of communication. Why pod? So one of the biggest selling points on it is that it is the versatility of being both low and high tech. Again, that you don't need a tablet. You can load it up on a tablet. You can load it up on a Chromebook, computer. Like you can bring the high tech components if you'd like, but it can just be a spiral bound notebook that travels with the user. The wide range of vocabulary, and the vocabulary is also out. I guess that's the next one. Is that it's adapted to individual users. So you can really tailor it to the individual, right? So there's enough vocabulary that you can, they're ready for any situation with this tool. Low floor, high ceiling. So it can have very few images. It can have a lot of images. You can add vocabulary. You can have, you can really go as deep as you'd like to. There was one spiral bound one that I saw that was probably 2.5 inches thick, just filled with all sorts of pictures to help communicate. The other thing is that this is a tool that's been around for a little bit. It's been in use. It's been wide use, and there are ample opportunities for professional development and training. Another piece is that it's partner based, and so there's a lot of communication that's modeled by the partner. Words are said by the partner. Ways of interacting socially are modeled by the partner, and it provides users with a consistent point of connection and communication. So it's not something that they're doing alone. It's something that is a consistent source of connection for the user. And these are my references. Thank you so much for tuning into the presentation. Big takeaways for the pod are that it is low tech and high tech, and that it can be used by users all the time. It does require that the symbols are taught and practiced, and that the user has access to it all the time. Thank you so much.